Hello everyone, my name is Mike, and this is the Bored Cyborg. What's in the bag? Welcome back to yet another episode of What's in the Bag, which is my version of the movie collection update where I go over the Blu-rays, DVDs, VHS, video games, anything that I've picked up recently that I think is cool and want to share with you all. Feel free to leave down in the comments below how you feel about my pickups. What were some of the things you picked up in the last few weeks or so? I'd love to read about it. Feel free to leave that in the comments below. Jumping right into what I've picked up, I've got a bunch of DVDs, about the same amount of... the majority of these came from the new bookstore that I've been working at for the last 2 months now, actually. I get a 50% discount, and so I'm cleaning up on Blu-rays that come in. Hole fillers, cool things. I've got a lot of cool stuff to show off. Let's jump right into it. So I picked this up actually from Goodwill for 69 cents, P2, A New Level of Terror, or whatever the subtitle is, and I'm interested in it. I don't know much about it, but it seems like a straight up sort of bottle thriller, meaning it all sort of takes place in one area, in this case a parking garage. So yeah, I want to check it out. P2. Stupid fucking name. Next up, I picked this up for $5 at Lowe's Foods, of all things. But they're films that I've been wanting to watch for years. The Curse and The Curse 2. The Bite. The Curse has Will Wheaton in it, and it's based on a Lovecraft story. I forget which one, or if it's just Lovecraftian in nature. I don't know much about these movies. Are they any good? Who knows? I spent $5 on it. I figured $2.50 per movie ain't bad. I know these are on, I'm sure these are on Blu-ray now, but to find this at a grocery store, I was kind of excited. Of course, they do it up to make it look like modern films, but these are older films, one from 87, one from 88. So, The Curse 1 and 2. This one's cool, and I did pick it up from the bookstore, The Picture of Dorian Gray. This is a Warner Brothers version directed by Albert Lewin, and George Sanders, I would assume, plays Dorian Gray. So, pretty cool to pick this up. I've only seen a couple adaptations of Dorian Gray, and I've enjoyed them. I'm expecting this one to be pretty damn good because it's a, it's a big budget Warner Brothers movie, and really looking forward to checking this one out. I'm familiar with the story of Dorian Gray, and yeah, looking forward to this one. Aftershock, Earthquake in New York. A Hallmark disaster movie. I'm expecting many incredibly bad things from this movie. Scar 3D. Oh, it's got 3D glasses. It's that kind of 3D. Oh boy. Well, no thank you. I'll watch it in 2D. Scar 3D. I don't know anything about this. Seems like a Saw type of movie. Probably a torture porn type of horror film. Yeah. 69 cents at Goodwill. Pick this up, Archer. This is a show that I've been told I'd enjoy. I guess it's sort of a James Bond kind of parody thing from Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. That's all I know about it. So hopefully it's pretty damn good. Hopefully it's a good parody, a good deconstruction of the character. Archer. This is pretty cool. I don't know much about this, but it's called Outrage. It's directed by Carlos Saura, and it's an Antonio Banderas-led action film from the 90s. I don't know much about this, but I know it's action, thriller sort of thing. It says on the back here, Marco Valles is possessed by the beauty of a circus sharpshooter, and from the second they meet is willing to give up everything to be with her, but one horrifying night sends them both down a road of revenge, leaving behind a trail of bodies to the ultimate showdown. That sounds great. So it seems like more of a thriller than an action film, but judging by the screenshots on the back, it has a chick with a shotgun, so I mean, I'm on board. Antonio Banderas? Yeah, man. Not too proud of the box for this one, but it's one of those weird blockbuster exclusives, I guess. The Gathering? Christina Ricci, that's why I picked it up, because it's a horror film from the early 2000s with Christina Ricci, who I love in almost everything she's in. I also think she's gorgeous, and that is The Gathering. So, who directed this one? Brian Gilbert. Yeah, you guys know anything about this one? I know nothing, clearly. Picked this one up from the bookstore. I have seen this. Years ago I watched it, and the animation style just swept me away into the land that this film inhabits. If you guys have seen Prince Ahmed, one of the earliest animated films, I have it in my collection. I've talked about it briefly before. It's done in that similar sort of style, very 2D, very stylized, as you could see on the back there. And it's a very short and sweet story that, to be fair, I don't remember much about the story. I was so so involved with the aesthetics of this film, the music, the Celtic lore, the cinematography, the hand-drawn animation. It all just swept me away. Second time around, I want to pay closer attention to the story. And it has to do with the Book of Kells, which is a mythological or maybe a real book that existed, sort of religious, spiritual sort of thing. So I definitely want to check out The Secret of Kells again sometime soon. Oh man, this one's nostalgic. I picked this up somewhere, I don't remember where. The Looney Bugs Bunny movie. I used to watch this on VHS over and over until the tape wore out. I love this, and I love like Daffy Duck's Quackbusters and Fantasy Island, the Looney Tunes version of Fantasy Island. As a kid, I just loved all these movies. So looking forward to checking this one out again. Very nostalgic for me. It's going to be a blast from the past to check this out. So, a Looney Bugs Bunny movie. This one I picked up from a thrift shop that I frequent. I couldn't get footage of it because they let me in their back room. I asked if I could film and they said no, understandably, of course. It was their back room and they let me just dig through a whole bunch of boxes. It was heaven. And I found this archive collection. Not archive, limited edition, MGM's archive collection, essentially. The Siege of Firebase Gloria. Now, this is an action war film starring Wings Hauser and R. Lee Ermey. And I hear that R. Lee Ermey is like the lead role in this. Him and Wings Hauser are sort of the lead roles. I don't know much about it. I know it's an action film. I know it's more of an action film than a war film. And that's all I need to know. Let's see who directed it. Brian Trenchard Smith, who actually did a couple films I do enjoy. Well, one I enjoy off the top of my head. He did Dead End Drive-In, which is a great, weird 80s Australian sort of film. I think it's Australian. And then he also did Night of the Demons 2, which isn't very good. But I'm looking forward to The Siege of Firebase Gloria. Picked this up because it was 69 cents at Goodwill. Police Academy 4-pack. I got rid of my copy of Police Academy, which I do enjoy, and got a 4-pack. So, okay. I don't know. Hopefully they're funny. Hopefully they're good. We'll see. Oh, dude, this came into the bookstore, and I lit up like a Christmas tree, and all my coworkers learned that I was actually insane. Skyscraper. Ready for this? This film is Anna Nicole Smith's Die Hard. You know, they all had them. Seagal had Under Siege, Van Damme had Sudden Death, Anna Nicole Smith had Skyscraper. It is a straight-up Die Hard ripoff with Anna Nicole Smith in the lead role as the action heroine. I have not seen it. I can't wait to see it. Skyscraper was awesome to pick up. Got this for $2 at the bookstore. Alright, that does it for the DVDs. Hopping into the Blu-rays from Disney Rewards Program. Lilo and Stitch. Finally picked these up. I've never seen Lilo and Stitch ever in my life. It was a little after... I don't know, I was in high school, you know, I didn't really care about Disney animated films coming out. I was watching violent action movies and stuff, and gangster flicks, horror films, you know. Lilo and Stitch, I just kind of missed, even though I can do a killer Stitch impersonation.
Oh, look at me, I'm Stitch. Oh, yeah, I think this is a good impersonation of Stitch. Ooh, yeah.
It's sort of Jar Jar Binks in there, too, but, you know, for not seeing the movie, I think it's pretty good. Anyway, Lilo and Stitch, the first two films on Blu-ray here. Cool. Rounding out the Disney Animated Collection. Speaking of Disney Animated Collection, actually, this is Pixar, but Incredibles 2. I got this for a couple bucks at the bookstore, and, of course, I want to see this movie. I love the original. Definitely one of the better Pixar films, in my opinion, one of my favorites. And Incredibles 2, I heard good things about it. And, of course, for $2, gotta pick it up. This one I bought because it was 70 cents at Goodwill. I don't often regret purchases, but I'm gonna ask you all, is this film any fucking good? In an ironic way, in a non-ironic way, Trolls, I grew up with the toys, it's probably shit. Got this from the flea market, and I did not spend $30 Best Buy monies there. Valkyrie. This is a Bryan Singer film I've wanted to check out, an action thriller, political thriller that follows a man in Germany that is trying to take down Hitler during World War II, during his reign. And that's all I know about it. Bryan Singer, Tom Cruise, hell yeah. Got this at the same booth at the flea market, Inkheart. Don't know much about this, but it's Brendan Fraser and sort of a fantasy family kind of film. I don't know. It was 70 cents. I picked it up at Goodwill. Giving it a whirl. Why not? Inkheart. Oh, and it's directed by Ian Softly, who did a bunch of films that I really like, actually, including K-Pax and Hackers, of course. Hackers. So, Inkheart. Yeah, I wanna check this one out. War. A film that I tried to watch back in the day, about 4 or 5 years ago, and I did not like it at all. I actually shut it off. But it's Statham and Jet Li. I want to give it a fair shot and get through the movie and try it again. My action sensibilities have changed since the last time I watched it, so we'll see. We'll see how it holds up. Hopefully it gives me some good action. That's all I want. Hey man, it's Jet Li and Jason Statham, so at least for the action collection, I want it in the collection. So, War. Another Disney Rewards movie, Thor Dark World, probably my least favorite of the entire... I've only seen parts of this, to be fair, but it was boring and I didn't like it. But probably my least favorite film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but I'm a completionist. I want all of the Marvel movies. I got this for free with my points, so it is what it is. Salt, one I got at the flea market, again, for $1. And this is a movie I saw in theaters back in the day, and it didn't really impress me too much. It's a Philip Noyce film, but it did predate, you know, a lot of the female-driven action films we'd get throughout the decade, so I want to give this a fair shot. Angelina Jolie is great in these types of physical roles. Obviously, she looks great as well, but, yeah, I do want to give this one another shot, because I didn't hate it, I just didn't love it, so... We'll see how it fares on the next viewing. And the last 4 I got from the bookstore, all for around $2.50 each. First one up is Hitman's Bodyguard, a film that I watched a few months ago and really, really enjoyed. I love the chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jack. It just really reminded me of Danny Glover and Mel Gibson in the Lethal Weapon movies, which is definitely what it's going for. The guy who did Expendables 3 did this, Patrick Hughes, and he also did another film called Red Hill, which I hear really good things about. This is far, leagues better than Expendables 3. Great action, really good action, not great hand-to-hand choreography, but really good gunplay, really funny, great chemistry, great writing, awesome, throwback action movie. Hitman's Bodyguard. Can't wait for the sequel. Ready Player One. Picked this up for a couple bucks at the bookstore. Of course, I had to pick it up. It's Spielberg. Man, I watched this movie last year, and I really, really did enjoy it. I didn't quite love it, but I'm hoping I fall in love with it next time around. You know, being more removed from the book now, I just want to view this and judge it on its own merits and kind of look for Easter eggs. I know there's tons of characters that I missed the first time around. It's just, it is so 2019 in essence. You know, 2018, this era, the social media era, where, you know, internet era that we're in right now. It just encapsulates that really well, and it has the Spielberg charm, just not as much as I would have liked. But I want to give it another fair shot. I do like the film quite a bit. It's a 3.5 out of 5, so I still like it a lot. But in terms of Spielberg, it's somewhere middle to low tier for me. But Ready Player One. Next up is a film that I missed in theaters, sadly, but it is Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. Now, I've heard so many mixed things about this. Either they love it or they hate it. I think I'm going to come out of this one enjoying it. I really like the actors involved. I'm a Christopher Nolan fan. I love the work he does. Inception, Dark Knight, all great films. Batman Begins. I'm excited to see him take on the war genre, and I'm excited to see Dunkirk. I don't know much about the history, but that is Dunkirk. I just want to thank you guys for checking out another What's in the Bag. A lot of cool stuff, a lot of hole fillers, just rounding out the collection. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as well as the little bell for notifications. I'd love to know what you guys thought about my pickups this week, and what you've picked up in the last couple weeks, so feel free to leave that in the comments below. Anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Bored Cyborg, out. Forgive me, this is my 8th video in a row shooting, and I can't feel my knees.